Daryl here. The channel is Programming in Any Language. The supporting website is www.black-duck.com. You'll find the videos and PDFs of the code there in most cases. The video is the Anything Database version 3, Part 1, Planning and Design. As a consultant, I quickly learned that while my clients' needs varied, they all wanted the ability to create collections of data and then be able to save, load, edit, delete, and search that data. This made things easy for me. I only had to create one application that did this. For each new customer, all I had to do was modify or tailor what I created for the first customer. My first application was a blueprint for all the ones I created later. When it came to teaching classes, I replicated that user need to the Anything Database. The Anything Database is an application that gives the user the ability to create a collection of data and then save, load, edit, delete, and search that data. In the text processing section of my website and the text processing playlist on my YouTube channel, you'll find version 2 of this application. In that one, we use multiple lists to store the data. While that method does work, it's a little messy. In this version, we use a structure to accumulate each record and then store and access them in a single list. Building this application is complex, but breaking the parts down to manageable pieces, you'll find that the application is not difficult. Oh, you can make it difficult by trying to do it all without much of a plan, but you'll quickly see that building small parts and connecting them is much easier than trying to do it all at once. This application will be broken down into 9 parts. They are analysis and design, adding records, navigation, saving records, loading records, editing records, deleting records, clear the file, and searching records. We'll start with part 1, analysis and design. Okay, we're looking at the Anything Database version 3, part 1. It's very similar to Anything Database version 2, part 1, with slight differences you're going to see. Instead of using all lists, we're going to use one list, and we'll use a structure to create this thing. It's going to be a little bit easier to do, I think, when you get the long and the short of it all. Let's take a look. From when we looked at the Anything Database version 2 in the text processing area, the same stuff was going on. Database management system, we had something like this, where it had the records in here, first name, middle initial, last name, and so on down the line is what we're going to be looking like. This is in a spreadsheet version, or it's going to even be a database version from Access. And it's basically rows and columns. That's what we're dealing with here. Each column is called field. Each row is a collection of related columns. Each row is typically assigned an index, making it unique for any other row, and each field or column is a set size or data type. Now, we're not going to be doing this in a database form. We're going to be using a text file again, but we're going to be using a structure to maintain this system of keeping all of the different field names the same, consistent, as we put these things in. So basically, one line here will be sitting in a structure with the first name, middle initial, last name, address, line 1, 2, city, state, and zip code in each structure. And we'll take each structure then and apply it to a list to actually save it. There won't be any ID. We won't have any of this because that happens when we actually do a database itself, which we'll do down the road. But right now, we're still doing text processing, looking at structures. This is the database. If you look at an Access thing, we are allowed to basically create almost like a structure. We're creating all the names in here, as you can see, and we're giving it the data type that each one of those things is going to be. In our case, they're all going to be text, and that's fine. We certainly could have numerics in here, but we're not. And each one of these fields can be defined a size, and we're doing that as well. We're creating a size using our C# programming to actually create that. When we get all done, we've got something like this: field, data number, strings. I often put this thing on the side. I'll print this out so I got an idea of what I have for names and anything. I'll leave it on my desk because I'm programming. Makes it a little bit easier to follow. And this is the application itself. It's going to look the same. This is identical to the text processing one. So while it's going to look the same, it's going to operate inside differently. So that's what's happening here. We're going to be using a structure instead of instead of a bunch of lists to make this happen. We use one list, but that's all. So the Anything Database version 3.0. And we've got all the neat little fields in here that we're sitting with. We're using test processing methods. Data can be captured with the correct data type and size for each field. And as you can see, we're going to end up like this. Daffy is going to be 20 long or whatever it's going to be. What are we making it actually? Back up one. Actually, we're making the 15 is the first name. Middle initial is 1. The last name is 20, as you can see. So we're going to be keeping that consistency. And when you actually see it printed out then, If we looked at the text file, when we actually save it, it'll look like this. It'll have that Daffy information sitting here with 15 long, D-A-F-F-Y, and 10 blanks, an M with no blanks, a duck with 15 blanks, or 16 blanks after, and so on. So they all look structured the same way. And it can be ported easily to a spreadsheet like this, very, very easily. So for the Anything Database version 3, we need to create a hierarchy chart identifying the functions and methods we want in this application to perform. Design the form so it's pleasing and functional to the user. Write the code for each function and method. Test the program, correcting any issues. Once again, a good plan, and it's going to make our testing so much easier in the long run. This is what we're looking like here. This is the same structure we had, or the same hierarchy chart we had for the text version of this thing. We're going to have a navigation section here, and all these buttons here that we're going to have on our form: delete, add, edit, search, clear, upload, and save are going to be there. Plus these update and cancel and find are also part of it as well. And we'll have some redundancy here, so we're going to be creating methods that'll display record count, flip buttons, and so on as we move through this thing. So building the application, we named all our fields. We actually put everything in place. We created this form with all this good stuff on it. And as you can see, it's all sitting here with the names of all those particular fields, identical to what we did in the text file. Text last name, text middle initial, so on. There is a hidden one in here, a search field that's hidden behind the duck, because we're going to be searching on last name. Unless we change our mind and enhance the search feature, we're going to be sticking with that. So it's all there. Button top, button forward, button bottom, button panel navigate, button back, sitting down here. There's a panel here that makes this thing disappear. So we're going to work with that. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and create the structure for this thing. Let's create this application so we can get ready for it. What you're seeing on the screen right now is our form with all of the pieces that we need, just like you saw in the graphic a little while ago, that screenshot. Number of records is the label. We've actually have the LAB, or this label right here, which is label record count. We've got the first name field right here, text first name, TXT middle initial, TXT last name. We've got our address line 1, address line 2, address text city. And we're not naming the city here because it's simply a label, so we don't care about that. We're not going to change it in code. But we are going to be working with TXT city, TXT state, TXT zip. The panel you can see outlined here, panel navigation, PNL navigation. The buttons, button top, button back, button forward, button bottom. And the buttons, add, button update, button cancel, clear, button search, button load, button save, button exit. And behind these guys right here, if we send these things to the back, we've got button edit, and we've got button send to back, button delete are sitting here as well. So all those things are ready to go and in place for us. What do we need to do to create this thing? What we want to do is we want to be able to run this thing. Let's take a look at it real quickly. We'll do a file save all, and we'll run it just to see what we have so far. Right now what we have is we've got as you can see, the text files are unenabled. So we can't even type in this thing. So they're unenabled. The panel is invisible. So those buttons you're seeing over here don't show up. That's good. We want to be able to turn that. We don't want to be able to navigate until we actually have records out here. So we want a counter up here that's going to show us something when it actually runs, rather than LAB. It'll have a number in here. When it's got a number greater than 0, we'll be able to turn on the navigation and be able to see this. And when we want to add, we want to be able to go in here and maybe press the add button and be able to type in these things. That's going to create an update and cancel situation for us so we can get in there. So we'll see how that goes. So let's set this up. We don't have any programmers, so I can't exit. All I can do is hit this thing right here to go in there. And let's go into the code. If you view the code, it looks pretty barren right now. There's nothing there. What we want to do is we want to be able to go into under the class form here and create some things. We want to go under here and create the record count, making it equal to 0, and a record pointer. So we're always pointing at a particular record in our list. The list is going to contain all those structures for us. So we're going to be sitting here with 0 right now. That's initially what it's going to have. And record pointer is going to be the pointer to the current record in the array or into the list. I probably just say list here. Let's do a comment on here and say LIST, so we don't get confused in just what that thing is. The next thing I want to do is I want to create the structure. And I'll do that right here. By creating the struct person, I can create all of the fields that I'm going to be using here, the first name, middle initial, last name, address line 1 and 2, city, state, and zip, and have those things in here. This will be the structure of a person. So person is going to be what I'm going to be able to refer to that I actually add to the list, and what I can actually do to get at all these pieces of that person. They're all going to be sitting there. I'm also going to create the list then. We'll go right under here and pop that list in, and we'll call the list person. Anything list equals new list person. So we're taking a list called person. Anything list is what it's going to be called, and it's going to be new. And it creates a list of the person structure. So this is what's going to be, that's the only list we're going to be using here. So this will be the thing we're going to be adding 1, 2, 3, 4, and keeping all those people involved on this thing. That's all we need to do with this. We're also going to go to form loads. I'm going to jump over to here. I'm going to double click on the form. When the program executes, I want to be able to actually do something with it initially and set things up. So I'm going to go ahead and initialize the new record counter as 0. I think I have it up here already as 0, but I'm going to set the 0 again here in form load as we're coming in for the first time. And my label record count text is going to be equal to whatever that is, and in this case 0. So right now this thing should possibly work. But before we do that, let's go in and one more time, and let's go into our exit button and hit this thing. And we're going to create the close form routine. And that should do it for us. That's all we need to do to set this thing up and make it work so we can actually start working with programming on here. I'm going to do a file save all, and we'll do a run. Start. There's our program. And I'll pull it off to the side for a second so we can take a look at the design right away too. So here's our program. As you can see, the panel navigation is blank. We've got a 0 inside the number of records here. All these things are blank here. None of these buttons work. They're all sitting there doing nothing. The exit button will work and take us out. So basically, we're all set to start programming this thing. And the first thing we're going to do is probably program the button add so we can start putting data into this thing. We also want to get down to the load routine so we can bring in characters or bring in the persons from our file and save them back once we've made some changes. But we need to put something in there in the first place. I could use some dummy fields, some dummy records right now, but let's create this thing from scratch and actually add the records. Then we'll work on a save routine to get that thing going. So that's what the form looks like when it starts to run, and this is what the code looks like when we actually create it. You can find all this in the website. The PDFs for this code will be sitting out there along with the design on the hierarchy chart and all that kind of work. That's it for getting started with this thing. Anything Database version 3. Well, all the pieces are in place. Design's important. If you forget something, that's okay and normal. You can still add it. But the foundation looks to be in good shape. We can start programming. And we'll do that in the next video as we create the functionality to add records. Thanks for watching. Visit the website when you get a chance. And please subscribe to the channel. There's more stuff coming every week. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.